And the clear piece is going to go inside this groove. If I have it the right way, which I don't. Yay me. There we go. Okay. So I got the clear piece back there, and then just gonna put the armor over top of that. And now, well, you might have noticed a little cut there in the video, just because I forgot this little jewel that goes on the forehead. Kinda necessary. But, here it is. Now let's keep going. Now, I have to put the LED into the head here. And, you know, you want the little on and off switch to be at the top so you can get at it. You can see the indent here. The indent's going to be at the top. Now, you want to make sure that the screw is all the way in, because if it's a little bit out, it's not going to go in there. Don't ask me how I know. Now we can put the back of the head on, push it in. Alright, next, I'm going to get the V-fin here, and just push it in. And then the yellow part of the fin, push it on top. And then to finish the little sandwich, I'm going to take the red jewel and put it on the top there. And there is the head, all done. What do you say we light this bad boy up? So, once again, let's take the top of the head off, and apparently the armor wants to stay on there. But you can just switch it on right like this. Alright. And there it is. Let's turn the light off, and apparently the light went out. There we go. Okay, that is beautiful. I love the way that looks. Oh, yeah. So, let me just get the back of the head on here again. So, this is just the head with the armor on.
And here's the head without the armor. As you can see, it's roughly almost the same head size, you could say, of my SD Strike Freedom. Very, very close. Obviously, it does not have the option to turn on like Prime 92 shown a few moments ago. Oh, but yeah, it almost looks like a little gladiator helmet right there. Looks very familiar. Anyway, let's move on. Now we're going to proceed with the arm unit assembly of the Strike Freedom Perfect Grade. Like the legs that I built prior, there's a lot of parts that dictate this arm. Very detailed parts, which I will show in great detail on how they are. But first, let's begin with the inner and upper frame of the arm and its shoulders. First up is this assembly here for the actual shoulder joint, which goes very nicely in. You have this guy here, and it slides nicely in. There we go. Goes in nice and tight. You have this guy here, which when after I put it on I didn't realize what it was, and it was that little side trim thingy that I saw on my Master Grade kit. So this part is done completely, so you can put it off to the side and proceed on with the rest of the build. First up is this guy. I always try to keep it in the position that I see in the manual. So in this position here, slide in this poly cap here, And you can't go wrong with this one because there's only one way of putting it in. There's a little notch here. Put it in like that. Now this one's a little tricky, and you got to look at it very clearly. In the manual, it obviously looks the same, but these pegs on the bottom are bigger than the ones on the top. You want to put the bigger ones, like you have to put it in this position. So the smaller pegs go here. These serve as hydraulic type features, as you can see right there. Once that's complete, you move on to the next. These guys right here, like the last polycap before, you can't go wrong with this one because it has a little notch here, so you can't put it in the wrong way. And finally, you take the remaining elbow joint, which happens to be in gold trim, and slide it in, not too much because you want to get it in there with this hole. Then in this position, you want to look like that, and seal it up. Off to the side, the next part would be these two guys. Again, put it in the right orientation based on the information you see on the manual. Put this polycap here, which is now you're starting forming the arm, this part of the arm. This guy here, again, another hydraulic situation. However, you can't go, if you want to make sure you're in the right orientation, there's a little hole there. You want to make sure it's facing outwards. Put it in here, and then seal it up, if you can. There we go. And tighten it up a bit. This polycap goes right there. A second. All right. To complete the build, you want to take this guy, slide that in there, then slide this guy in like so, slide the next one in like so. And then finally, you bring these two guys together. Alright, to finish this up, you just gotta put the remaining armor on of this guy. Where does that go? Actually, no, that goes in the back. Sorry. There we go. And this guy goes here. This guy goes there. The armor pretty much will dictate what's the orientation of this arm and what it is. And for this, we're assembling the left arm because this part has to be on the side away from the body. So this is the left arm unit of the Strike Freedom. Now then, we're now at the point where I'm about to build the hands. And this is the most this part I'm a little bit nervous, because after seeing this tree, I cannot go willy-nilly removing all these parts. And I was about to, but I had to read the manual first, and I noticed that Bandai went through great lengths to make it very, very easy for you to actually assemble the hands. Let's begin with the actual wrist unit. And for starters, there are only two parts that you really need to separate, and that's these two guys. This is basically the thumb. And it's pretty simple, and this thing really snaps in and is strong. I'll do a close-up soon in a few moments. Now, you want to remove this guy and this guy. And I would suggest, if you're going to use clippers like I'm using right now, that you use the flush part of the clippers to snap off these. Now, this part is pretty much the actual palm of the hand. Whatever you do, do not remove this. Leave it the way it is. This will serve as a frame guide for you, and that way it doesn't move around a lot. Slide the thumb like so. Put this part in this position. Make sure that the holes are facing upwards. And then finally, with this part and this T-notch right there, as a matter of fact, that T-notch right there, seal it up like so. Now, you may have to flip this around a bit so you can understand. And I gotta go to the next page for a second. Okay. So, these are your hands. These are your fingers, which dictates the length of the hand. Pinky, index, middle, and forefinger. And you have these joints that you have to cut up specifically for each one and put it on top of it. So, I'll give you an example right here. I'm going to remove this guy. Like so. And this took me a while to figure this out because I was afraid I was going to break it. But then all you need to do is put it over it and then slide it in. Like so. See that? And then, with ease, carefully trim off the fingers, like this. Remove it. Flip it over. And since I already know where it's going to go, it'll go right here. See? So you do that for your pointer finger, middle finger, index finger, and pinky finger. Okay, so now carefully snap or clip off the hand from the tray. This tray is done, of course. And then you put on the remaining parts to finish off the hands. This nub here. This guy goes like so. Oops, get in there. And then this guy goes like that. And there you have it. Hands are done. Yo.